Ladies and gentlemen, mic check, 1 2 1 2. Let me see. Let me do a sound check real quick. Yep, we good.
This is one of the most important.
We good. Hold on. John Digger, what's up? How y'all doing? Talk to me nicely. How y'all doing? Good evening. What's up? What's up? What's happening, man? Y'all, you had a good week? I got quite a bit to cover tonight. How y'all doing though? Welcome to the Ironworth Trading Show. I'm your host, Coach Price. This is for educational purposes only. This is not financial advice. All right. Hold on. Let me dock the live chat. Here we go. All right. So, y'all, what's happening? What's up? Again, welcome to Ironworth Trade. And if you are watching this right now, whether you are brand new to investing or whether you just been trading for a few years or maybe you just been sitting on money not knowing where to put it, right? This class is for you. I'm going to say something right at the start, and I want y'all to hear it clearly. Again, this is for educational purposes only. This is not for financial advice. Ladies and gentlemen, we are living through one of the biggest technological shifts in human history. I'm going to say that again because I don't think it's registering for some of y'all. We living through one of the biggest shifts in human history. It's a technological shift. A lot of people, most people, all right, most regular people, they gonna watch this shit happen from the outside and they gonna watch other people get wealthy as fuck, all right? And they gonna see a lot of stock prices move. They gonna see this shit move hundreds of percent, and they gonna look at their timeline and see somebody talking about this shit just like I do, all right? They gonna hear me talking about a stock that went from $12 to $300 to $1,200, and they gonna say, man, I wish I had known about that. But that's not going to be you. No, not today. Not after this class. So I'm going to let a few more people come in before I get started. I'm going to let a few more people get in. Curve Complex, why you don't call me? You're supposed to be. By the time I see your name on the live stream, I'm like, you know what? I could have just called Miss Baz. How y'all doing, though? Let a few more people come in because, again, tonight, y'all, I'm going to teach you how to find AI stocks before they explode. Not after they already moved. Not when everybody talking about them on social media. I'm talking about before. The same way a lot of institutional investors, the big money, the hedge funds, the pension funds, think about these opportunities. I'm going to break it down so plain that your grandma could understand this shit. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And I'm also make sure that it's also thorough so that if you a seasoned trader already, you will be able to take notes too. Feel me? I'm going to try not to miss no slides tonight. Now, I'm going to start at the very beginning. I know it's only 5 people in here, but it's cool. We're going to go ahead and start the class. Maybe the rest of them will come on in. Some of y'all watching have heard the words artificial intelligence 1,000 fucking times, but you have never heard somebody explain what that means for your money. What does AI mean for your money? So let's build a foundation around that part first, since we all love money, right? For the love of money. Looking at it. Listen, artificial intelligence, right? AI is software that can literally learn. AI is software that can learn, it can reason, and it can produce outputs that used to require human thinking. AI can do shit that used to take a human to do. Now, you probably use ChatGPT already, right? Yo, you good, bro? I'm well, Lost Boy Johnny. Why you ask me that? Why you ask me that, Johnny? What kind of question is that? I'm wonderful. I'm absolutely splendid. Now, like I was saying, some of y'all already use ChatGPT. You might use AI tools at your job. Y'all, I'm pretty sure y'all see a lot of AI features in your phone starting to pop up, right? This is all real. But here is what most people don't think about. All of that AI literally runs somewhere. It does not live in the cloud, ladies and gentlemen, like some type of invisible magic. No, this shit lives inside of physical machines, physical buildings that are connected to physical wires, powered by real electricity. And right now, the demand for all of those physical things is absolutely enormous and growing every single day. I want y'all to think about it this way. In the 1800s, I tell y'all this shit all the time. I'm not going to be too stuck on the gold rush. But I like using the gold rush as a comparison of what we dealing with right now, right? There was a time in America where everybody was getting rich just from digging and finding gold. But the people who got rich before them was the ones who was selling the picks and shovels. All right. In the 1800s, there was a gold rush in California. Y'all might not know nothing about that. Go do your research. Everybody heard about it during the time, and everybody wanted gold. You had thousands of people that was flooding to that territory just so that they could dig and find gold. But I'm telling y'all, the gold miners made very little money. The people who made the real money was the people who sold the picks and shovels, the people who sold the blue jeans for the people that was digging gold, the people that sold food and the supplies, the people who built the railroads, the people who had the infrastructure that the gold rush required. They got paid no matter who found the fucking gold. It didn't matter who found it or who didn't. You see what I'm saying? So the AI boom, it works the same way. That's what we dealing with right now with this AI boom. It's the same way. Everybody is rushing to build AI products right now. Chatbots, image generators, AI assistants, self-driving cars, medical diagnostics, defense systems. Y'all know what they using AI for. If I'm missing something, please feel free to put it in the chat on what a lot of businesses are rushing to use AI for. They need the modern equivalent of picks and shovels. That is where the most reliable, most consistent investment opportunities are sitting right now. Joe Butler, what up? So let me give y'all a sense of scale that we talking about real quick, because I need you to understand really that this is not a small thing. This is not small. This is big what we talking about right now. I'm gonna give y'all an idea. Microsoft, right? Microsoft, one company. Microsoft announced it is spending $80 billion on AI infrastructure. Microsoft is spending $80 billion on AI in 1 year. Not 80 million, 80 billion. Okay? Amazon, Google, and Meta, they spending around the same amount. All four of these companies combined are literally committing hundreds of billions of dollars for them to build out the physical infrastructure that AI needs to exist. And that money got to go somewhere. Guess where it's flowing? Can anybody think about where the money is going that they invest in? If they want to invest into AI, billions of dollars, where is that money going? Think about it for a second, because this is the type of thinking that is going to make you wealthy. Come on now. The shit is going to flow into microchips, servers, buildings, power systems, cooling equipment, fiber optic cables. Every dollar that they spend on AI infrastructure will go to a company that makes those things that I just named. Joe Butler, no, This ain't got shit to do with the blockchain. I know you crypto bros want the blockchain to have something to do with everything, but this ain't got shit to do with the blockchain. I'm talking about AI. Now, you know, you can connect the two. There is a connection there, but not quite. I'm talking about something different. See, some of these companies that I'm talking about are publicly traded on the stock market, Joe. Some of these companies are available for you and me to invest in right now. That is the opportunity. That is why we are here. That's what we're here to learn today. How to identify those companies. I'm going to teach y'all how to screen for them, how to read the technical signals, how to think about position sizing, and how to actually get in front of these moves rather than reacting to them after everybody already know about the shit. Let me give you an example. Let me show you what I mean real quick. Hold on. I got you. You see this right here? Make sure y'all still can see my screen. Y'all can see my screen, right? Put a W in the chat if you can see my if y'all can see this chart. This company is called SanDisk. Let me let y'all know something real quick. Y'all could have bought SanDisk just last year in 2025. All right? Around this same time, you could have bought SanDisk for $36. You could have bought SanDisk for $36 this time last year. SanDisk is now $1,564 a share. And growing, by the way. And growing. I mean, you know, $27 if you, yeah, literally. You could have bought it for $27. I think Microsoft on track to spend $180 million on AI this year. Try billion, lost boy, Johnny. You didn't just hear me say a billion? Listen. Hold on. Hold on one second. Yeah. I'm fact checking. Yeah, it's in the billions, Johnny. How do you know when to buy, bro? I'm about to get to that part, Fabian or Fabian. Let me get to that part, okay? I got you. Hold your horses. Hit the follow button if you're new here. So, what does AI need next? The question that changes how you see the market. I got y'all. This is a turning point, all right? I want to give y'all a framework. One question, but I need y'all to write this down. If you don't write shit else down today, write this down. What does AI need next? What does AI need? No, you are amazing, Exotic B. And y'all better go follow Exotic B. Stop playing. Listen, y'all, what does AI need next? This is the one question that's going to help you find stocks before they move. This going to help you make the money on before everybody else jump into this shit. Not after it moved, before. So I'm going to show y'all exactly how this has worked historically, because this is not a theory. This has already happened. It happened multiple times. And the people who was asking this question, they made a shit ton of money. Okay? So about 2 years ago, very few people was talking about memory chips in relation to AI, right? Stay with me now, y'all. Stay with me. Y'all feel me? Was y'all talking about it? Black Diamond, what up? What do y'all know about AI other than ChatGPT? Here, let me pull this up real quick. We're going to pull up the Micron chart. All right, there we go. Now, about 2 years ago, very few people was talking about memory chips. The conversation was about NVIDIA. Everybody wanted to talk about NVIDIA, right? Everybody wanted to talk about NVIDIA. In 2023, you could have gotten NVIDIA for the low too. And it then shot up to $217 a share. But we know this has been, NVIDIA market cap is top dog. This is damn near the biggest company in the United States right here. All right. But yeah, NVIDIA, they make the GPUs. For those that don't know what GPU is, this is the graphics processing unit. All right. They make the GPUs that are the primary computing engine for running AI models. NVIDIA was the story, but somebody who was asking the right question, they said, well, if all these AI models need to process a shit ton of data, all right, they need enormous amounts of data at extremely high speeds, they are going to need high performance memory right next to those GPUs. What company makes high performance memory chips? Can anybody tell me what company does that? You got it. Micron. And look what the fuck happened to Micron. You could have got Micron last year for, look, let's go back. 2024, you could have got Micron for $75. But look, you could have got it for $61 just last year around this same time. Look what it did. Micron is now $747 a share. Hello? Anybody home? That stock is called MU, ladies and gentlemen. Anybody home? Micron exploded. The people who were asking what does AI need next, they were already in Micron before the AI memory story became mainstream news. Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? I just need y'all to say yes or no. Yes. Okay, Liz says yes. Joe says yes. Curve Complex says yes. Wayne said, okay, cool. My people saying yes. Good. Because look, y'all, the same thing happened with storage. AI models have to be trained on massive data sets. Training data has to live somewhere permanently. Hard drive and storage companies benefited enormously. All y'all nerds, y'all know who Seagate is, right? My buddy is a producer. He's a music producer. And when I showed him SanDisk, the first thing he said was, well, who's their competition? Said, you know, and I'm like, well, I don't know. You know, he started naming them, and we pulled them up. Seagate was top 3 of their competition. Let's take a look at Seagate. Look at Seagate. You could have got Seagate for $62 a share last year. It is now $802 a share. Seagate is $802 a share, and it took the elevator up. The elevator. It didn't take the stairs up. It took the elevator up. Do you understand? Seagate moved significantly. The same pattern that SanDisk did, the same pattern that Micron did. All right. And now we got to talk about cooling. Cooling. AI data centers, they need to cool the fuck down. This is one of my favorite examples because it sounds so simple that people overlook it. The GPU chips. I'm talking about the kind that run AI. Literally, they generate extraordinary amounts of heat. A single AI server rack can require more cooling than an entire floor of a regular office building. You see what I'm saying? So the question becomes, who builds the systems that keep these things from melting? Vertiv. VRT is the name of the ticker. Let's take a look at at Vertiv. Vertiv Holdings Company right here. Look at Vertiv. You could have got Vertiv. In 2023, it was $15 a share. In 2024, you could have got it for $65 a share. Look, matter of fact, the cheapest you could have got it in 2024 was about $44 a share, but it came all the way down in 2025. Well, it was $53 a share in 2025. Just last year, you could have got in at 50. Now it's $359 a share. All right, the ticker is VRT. This is one of the primary answers, okay, to cooling down AI. And VRT had one of the best runs in the entire market over this period. Not a chip company. This is a cooling company. But the people asking the right question, they found it early. Okay, now I got another point. Another thing you should pay attention to when it comes to AI. Power, right? Power. This one is still playing out right now, but this may be one of the most important stories in the market for the next several years to come. In order for them to run AI, this is what a lot of people don't know. Running AI at scale consumes enormous amounts of electricity. In order for them to do this AI shit, it takes a lot of electricity. I'm talking about a single large AI training, just one of them, one run, can consume as much power as a small town. Do y'all hear me? Data centers across the United States are now so power hungry that some regions are running out of available grid capacity. They are running out of fucking space. I don't think y'all understand me though. All right? You don't hear me though. A lot of companies that build transformers, like they might as well be building fucking transformers. They upgrade the power grids and generate electricity, including nuclear power. They are in active demand. Let's talk about some of these companies real quick. I got a list of them that y'all can add to your watch list. All right. You want to be ahead of the curve. Let's talk about Eaton. Eaton Corporation. Same. They all went the fuck up. It went from 115 to 434 a share. Let's see who else we got. We got GE. I'm going to say Vernova. Yeah. GE Vernova. Check them out. Add them to your watch list. Went from $114 to $1,181. Took the elevator up. Okay? It's a reason why. I'm telling y'all, it's got everything to do with AI. But I'm going to show you how you don't miss out on shit like this in the future. Right? But I just want you to see, because I don't think these even on a lot of people's radar. Vistra Energy. This one is $15. If this is the right one, VSTE. Vistra Energy, yeah. Okay. Weird looking chart, right? Is this it say 2017? So yeah, I will watch this company because they still $15 a share. Constellation Energy. I'm not telling y'all what to buy. I'm telling you what to look at. Constellation Energy. It's another one of those companies that you could have bought for $74, went all the way up to $411. Okay, it is now at $303 a share. Constellation Energy Corporation. All of these benefited from somebody asking the right question. Okay, all these companies I just named. Modine says, Rob T, who do you like for power? Bloom, GE Vernova. Yes, Liz. I just showed you every company I like for energy and power. But those are the ones that benefited. So this is what I want y'all to understand about the psychology of this. All right, most retail investors, people like you and me, before they get educated, they look at the market and they wait for a signal, right? They wait for somebody on social media to say, this stock is about to pop, face ad, right? They wait for the news to come out. They wait until it is on every financial channel. And by the time they get on that signal, the institutional money has already been in the stock for a long time, for months. The big price move has already happened. They are buying the top, okay? And then the institutions, they selling into your excitement. No doubt. No doubt, Rob T. No doubt. Rob T says I'm giving out real game. No doubt. So when they buy the top, they wonder why they keep losing money. So disciplined investing is what I like to teach here at Ironworth Trading. Disciplined investing is about getting in front of the story. We don't chase nothing. I tell y'all that all the time. When you're chasing something, it's running from you, right? Do not chase anything. We attract wealth. And the way you get in front of the story is by thinking about what demand is coming before the market actually prices it in. Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Just let me know. Y'all know all I want to see is yes or no. Let me know. Okay, cool. Cool. Bet. I'm skipping. I go to talking. I get so locked in that I actually skip the. I skip the slides that I created just for the show. You know what I'm saying? I skip them on accident. But anyways, y'all, literally, if you ask yourself that, like, what does AI need that it does not have enough of yet? And if you figure that out, that's where the next great opportunity is likely hiding. Okay. Now, I want to talk about the 7 AI infrastructure categories, like where to build your watch list at for real. We're gonna talk about where to build your watch list at for real. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Got to get specific. See, it's 7 major categories of AI infrastructure that y'all should have on your radar as an investor, or because you're gonna miss the beat. I don't want y'all to miss the beat. Somebody says, although I messed up, BE had it at 18, got impatient, sold, and forgot about it. That happened to a lot of people with Bitcoin. But look, it's 7 major categories I want you to pay attention to. You ain't gonna miss out on this. I'm gonna walk through all 7, but for each one, I'm gonna tell y'all what it is and why it matters for AI. Y'all know I got to give you a real ticker example so you're not confused. I'm gonna explain to you what to look for. So just, pay attention. This is gonna help you build a blueprint for a new watch list. So listen, the first category I'm gonna talk about is the brain of AI, semiconductors. This is the brain of AI, right? Semiconductors are the chips that make computation possible. I'm finna nerd the fuck out a little bit on y'all, but if you can keep up with me, it's gonna be beneficial to you, right? And if you are confused at any moment, please slow me down, and I'm gonna explain. So listen, without these semiconductor chips, nothing in AI works. Nothing. NVIDIA is the name that everybody knows, and they know about this company for a good reason. Their GPUs are the gold standard for AI training and inference. So, and NVIDIA is not the only ones. Can anybody in the chat tell me who is NVIDIA's competition? If somebody says, you know what, I don't like NVIDIA they prices, I want to go to somebody else. Or if NVIDIA said we sold out, who would you go to? Did everybody in the chat see the three letters AMD? Can anybody look at what happened to AMD? It's $456. You could have bought it for $189 just this year in March. You could have got in for $189. But if you had bought last year, you could have got it for $76. You go back even further, you could have got it for $54 in 2022. It is now $456 a share. Amanda says, question. What's the question, Amanda? Sox's competition? No, I'm talking about their number one competition. It's AMD for right now. AMD makes competitive AI chips. Broadcom. Amanda, I like Broadcom. The ticker for Broadcom is AVGO. They just shot the fuck up. This is what I mean by AI boom. Okay. It's saying it's back. Let's see, because it's been booming, but it dipped and then it's the boom again. Hopefully a lot of people, when it got up to here, it dipped. Hopefully a lot of people bought the dip. We've been screaming that shit for months. Look at the chat. Everybody coming out the cut with companies. TSM, Taiwan Semiconductor, Cisco, LRCX. Y'all, I'm with y'all. Okay, I'm not knocking those companies. Y'all don't even know they on the list. However, I'm glad y'all bringing them up. Taiwan Semiconductor is a big competitor, and they haven't even taken off as much as they could yet. Let's see. Yep, never mind. $420. When I was telling y'all about it, it was in the hundreds. So yeah, we ain't gonna miss out going forward. See, this is for future references only. Okay, this is for future references only. We don't cry over spilled milk, ladies and gentlemen. It's okay if you didn't get in. I'm not here to spread FOMO. I'm just here to give you info. I'm here to point things out to you, okay? Now, I showed you Broadcom. Let's see. Yeah, that's AVGO, right? That was the next one on the list. They make custom AI chips. These are specifically for hyperscalers like Google. And then Micron, which is MU. All right, Micron, you could have got this for $60. It is now $747 a share. Micron makes the high bandwidth memory that sits alongside the GPUs. And then, like we said, Taiwan Semiconductor, I told y'all it's on the list. TSM, they actually manufacture the chips that most of the companies design. The semiconductor category is foundational. Do y'all hear me? It's foundational. Every AI system in existence runs on semiconductors. This is not going away, y'all. I'm telling you. So the question for you as an investor is, which company got the capacity, the technology, the customer relationships to capture the most revenue as AI chip demand continues to grow? Congratulations, user 1948919143937. He said, I'm in Avjo. I said Avjo. He's in Broadcom. He got in at 327. Oh, no, he got 327 shares. I think that's what he's saying. And he had it when it was in the 130s. It got in at when it was in the 130s. Am I right about that, user? Nice gains. If you got 327 shares and you got in when it was in the 130s, okay, cool. Yeah, he's sitting on the low. Congratulations. Yeah, that's the shit I'm talking about right there, man. That's what I like to see. So, y'all just got to know, like, this shit ain't going away. That's what I want to know. Now, the data centers. Let's talk about that part, because I know they building them in a lot of y'all backyards. They building these big, massive data centers in your backyards. Don't forget about nat gas, NATGAS. Data centers require and will need natural gas, yes, to run along with this catalyst. To push this catalyst as Apollo's Chariot 22. Photonics. What's up, Domestic Bliss Store? How you doing? Y'all on top of it, though. See these people that's in the chat, these are wonderful investors. They already know. These my type of friends. These are the type of people I like to be around. I'm glad to have y'all. I hope y'all hit the follow button already. Y'all can see the goal is 10,000 here. I'm looking to hit 10,000. So if y'all want to contribute to that, you know, you be in the my A1 day ones. So look, check it out. If semiconductors is the brain of AI, the data centers are the body. A data center is a massive building full of servers, computers. What up, Coach Royalty? Before I continue, Coach Royalty making so much money off AI, it don't make no sense. I'm serious. I ain't talking about as an investor. She's actually using AI. These companies are using AI to make money. But we as investors, we are investing in the future of AI itself, the brain of it, the body of it, okay? If y'all want to learn how to use AI to make money, if you're interested in that, maybe to making it like a side hustle, follow Coach Royalty P22 right there in the chat. Brent Stevens is making a shit ton of money because Brent Stevens is an electrician. I am front lines in data center, says Brent Stevens. If y'all want to make a shit ton of money off AI, become an electrician. All you young folks don't know what you want to do. AI is so big, you might want to look into being an electrician. But like I said, if the semiconductors are the brain, the data centers are the body. This is a massive building full of servers, full of computers. It literally houses and processes data and AI workloads. So every time y'all use ChatGPT to turn yourself into somebody who you don't fucking look like in real life, so every time you do this, every time You use it to make one of your flyers and shit. Every time AI makes a recommendation, when you ask it a simple ass question that you could have asked Google, whatever. Every time a company runs an AI model, that computation happens inside of a data center somewhere. Brent Stevens says we don't have enough copper to create all the data centers for the future. So Brent would know because he's frontline, which means, whoa, Brent, hold on now, Brent. See, Brent dropping jewels. Can anybody in the chat tell me what would this information make you do as an investor? What would that information make you do as an investor? If somebody on the front lines building data centers, right? He's an electrician for data centers and he knows. He says it ain't enough copper. Which would make copper go high in demand. Copper will be in high demand. Y'all, it's 63 of us in here. We might be thinking about this ahead of time puts you ahead of the curve. Think about it though. We're not just, we're not just talking out the side of our fucking neck. You see what I'm saying? Me too, Lost Boy Johnny. But I take it to the scrap yard. And so we know too. Copper also is a big tell if we head into a recession. Brent says in 10 years, it could be more valuable than silver. Rob T says, bro, I just stripped 100 feet ground wire, made 2,000. Yeah, see y'all. Do y'all read the chat? Now I'm telling you, these is generational wealth building people now. Somebody says, go to Africa and partner with companies to mine copper. Says, live, stop, and shop. Apollo said, John Deere is not a tractor maker. John Deere is all data center diesel generator providers for data centers. That's deep, Apollo. That's big too. JD, John Deere. Everybody usually just think about fucking tractor trailers and shit. They do a lot more than just make tractors. But literally, I'm telling y'all, companies, I'm going to show you some more companies too. Let me show you a couple more companies. Can y'all do me a favor? Can y'all tell me if y'all can see this chart still again? Let me know if y'all can see the chart. Let me see. DLR, Digital Realty. This company right here, they just shot up from $75 to $208. Well, not just, because you could have got in when it was 2023. But the most recent low, 146 to 208. You could have got in just in December. Everything I'm showing y'all is up for a great reason. It's not just up. Equinix, however the fuck you pronounce it. But the ticker is EQ, where it said EQIX. Yeah, Equinix. This company. Yeah. Just this year you could have got in. Well, I ain't going to say you could have got in, but let's just say that was 754. Now they're 1,128. Let's just look back, though. Let's take a look back real quick. For real. $460 in 2022. Early investors in 2019 was able to get in at 321. And then you got people, this company is not new. Let's see what they do. Where is... let's add a widget. I need to know profile. Let's add profile. All right, yeah. Equinix Incorporated is a digital infrastructure company. The company's platform, Equinix, combines a global footprint of international business exchange and scale data centers in the Americas, Asia Pacific, and Europe. The Middle East and Africa, EMA regions, interconnection offerings, and digital ecosystems required to serve a large and diverse set of customers. It offers a variety of enabling solutions that support a customer's need to implement and operate and maintain its co-located deployments. Yeah, a digital infrastructure company. We got other companies in the chat. AAOI, listen, that's a big one. Hold on. Let me go to AAOI before I talk about any other ones, because this one is gone. I tell you. This is gonna go too. And it looked like it's already left you, but nah. K Murph, what you say that I ain't read? What up? Buy data center, says Apollo. Set your stop losses on everything this year. Money is made in the hold. So this gonna rip too right here. I mean, you know, y'all know in the chat we've been talking about AA, applied optoelectrics. I was finna say optoelectrics. Let's see. Yeah, optoelectronics is a developer and manufacturer of advanced optical and hybrid fiber coaxial networking products that are the building blocks for artificial intelligence data centers. So this is an important company right here. AAOI. AAOI. But yeah, these companies that I'm showing you, they operate these data center buildings. Super Microcomputer, SMCI. Y'all, you know I don't never be out here yelling out stocks and shit. So if I'm telling you about it, you might want to pay attention. So SMCI. This one is $30. 30, how much is it right now? $35 a share. Apollo says, check out INOD. My AVG buy was $54. It ripped today hard. Super Micro computers, they build the actual server hardware that goes inside. Oh, hold on. Guess what else we was talking about this earlier, my boy. What's his name? Thighbone. His name Thighbone. That's a crazy ass name to have. But he said Dale is the next to blow. Dale is the next to blow. I mean, and it pretty much is already. It went from 211 to 260 in a matter of a week. But it ain't done. See, when you look at these companies and you look at something when it's 263 and you thinking, oh man, I already missed it. Well, what the fuck you think? You thought you missed it? People thought they missed Seagate when it went up to $293 in November last year. And then when it went up to $300, when it went up to $400 in January, people thought, oh man, well, I missed it, right? Sometimes buying the top ain't even really the top. Sometimes that's not really the top. Put a W in the chat if you're picking up what I'm laying down. I ain't telling y'all what the fuck to do. I'm just telling you what to look at, what to pay attention to. Do you get what I'm putting down? You picking up what I'm putting down? Yeah. Thought you was buying the top at 500. This shit went up to 800 in a couple of months. I'm just saying. So Dell and HPE, that's another one you might want to add to your watch list. Some of y'all not writing none of this shit down. You just watching it, and this shit going through one ear and out the other. Hey, it is what it is. I'm not even talking to you. You hear me? I hope you hear me now. I'm not talking to your ass. I'm talking to the people that's listening. Right? Because they got the power of execution, and knowledge is not power. Applied knowledge is power. If you not gonna do shit with this information, you wasting your time. You're not wasting my time. So you might as well keep scrolling. Go watch some brain rot. Go watch some stupid shit on TikTok that ain't gonna help you or make you no money. Maybe your algorithm matter of fact, if your algorithm show you me, I know you don't be watching bullshit for real. I wouldn't even have made it to you. So I ain't talking to none of y'all. Everybody in here on point. See what I'm saying? Everybody in here on point. And then I got some moderators in here tonight, so if anybody step wrong, they can get stepped on. Now, the data center category is essentially real estate and construction for AI. Do y'all hear me? Everything I'm telling y'all about this is pretty much construction. You see what I'm saying? It's construction companies and real estate companies. When you think about AI, you should be thinking about construction and real estate, not fucking ChatGPT. Do y'all get why I'm saying that? This shit is physical. It is physical. It requires real land. It requires actual power and big equipment. And the demand for this shit is growing faster than they can supply it. This is supply and demand one-on-one. All right, now I'm gonna move to the next category so I don't keep y'all up all night. I know y'all sleepy as hell and shit. A lot of y'all ready to check out halfway through the show. That's crazy. But look, this is the third category, right? This is the power infrastructure. I want you to pay special attention because this one, I believe, like this category, it may produce some of the biggest winners over the next several years. AI consumes power at a scale that most people have no mental model for. That means you can't wrap your fucking mind around how much power this shit really takes. A single large language model, just one run, one training run can consume more electricity than thousands of homes. I mean, matter of fact, it can consume more electricity than thousands of homes use in a single year. Okay, the entire U.S. power grid was not built with this kind of demand in mind. They weren't thinking about this shit so right now the grid is struggling to keep up with it, and that means two things for us as investors. First, the companies that make transformers face ass. I'm serious about this. Transformers, robots in disguise. I'm super serious. Do you mostly hold common shares or play options also? See. I don't know if your name is Meza, but look, I do both of them. I highly recommend people learn how to hold common shares and sell options instead of buying options. Learn how to sell calls. Use selling puts to acquire hundreds of shares of your favorite stock for a discounted price. Okay? Go look up cash secured puts. Go look up covered calls, and what does it require for you to do both? Okay, y'all, that's your homework. But look, the transformers, right? The equipment that manages electrical power distribution, they are in huge demand, and there is a significant shortage on it. Let's talk about a couple of these companies. ETN. This is Eden Corporation. ETN is on my list. This is a major player here. I'm going to use a 5-year range because I just showed y'all shit that shot up way past $400. All right, so don't think because it's at 400 it don't got more room to go. Apollo says, I believe most data centers will shift energy to mostly natural gas and small nuclear reactors. Meza says, yes, this is good knowledge. Covered calls end up making me more money than playing options. Yeah, because those options are, 90% of the time, people don't even exercise those contracts. They expire worthless. That's right. People are fucking gamblers out here. Warren Buffett even said it. Now, like I was saying, though, check it out. We know that Eden Corporation is a major player. Also, hold on, GE Vernova. Boom. From $200, from 169 to 1,181. Everything has went to the fucking sky. While they have you looking over here, okay, over there, this is happening. But you're looking over there, you're worried about that, and this is happening. I don't get it. I'm trying to snap y'all out of it. You know what I'm saying? Not trying, I'm going to. This ticker is GEV. This is another one, all right? Second, power generation companies, especially those that provide clean, reliable power. They are winning significant contracts in order for them to power AI data centers. Constellation Energy. I just gave y'all that one earlier, CEG. $303 a share right now. It was $411 a share. This is the future face ad. Now, for real, have them options get hit. Half of those options get hit with volatility. Is that what you're saying? He's correct. Data centers, AI lead the markets. Yeah. Qualcomm. I like that company too, Condor. I like that company too. Yeah, see these companies operate nuclear power plants. CG, this company operates nuclear power plants. Nuclear power is now actively being controlled by technology companies because it's clean, it's reliable, and it can provide base load power at a big scale. You know what I'm saying? At a big level. So this is not a small trend. I'm telling y'all, this is potentially one of the defining investment stories of the next decade. You're going to look back and be like, man, it was a dude on TikTok that wouldn't shut the fuck up about this. What do you think about BRAM? Everything we naming is worth adding to your watch list. It shouldn't be taken lightly. What do you mean? What do I think about this company? Huh? You see the growth? Rolling right now. Yo, you ready for SpaceX soon in June? Going to be the biggest IPO this year? Yes, it is. Meza says just bought 200 common shares today. HVAC companies for cooling centers, says Condor. Ted says, what company you said to look out for? Tez, I named a bunch of them already. Tez, you're going to have to watch the replay. But you know what? I'm going to go over here in a second. I'm going to give you a recap in a hot second. Just sit tight, Tez. Hit the follow button. I got you. I just want to, for time's sake, I need to go to the next slide. I don't want to get stuck over there. So, cooling systems. We already went over a few of them. I already talked about Vertiv earlier. VERTIV. Tez, how to buy SpaceX? It got an IPO first, Malik. Malik, it got an IPO first. IPO is the initial public offering. That is when it comes out and it's available for you and I to invest in. The recording will be on my YouTube channel, which is the same name as right here on TikTok. It's Ironworth Trading. You can just click on the link in my bio, hit the link tree, and it should take you directly to my YouTube. One of the links on there should be my YouTube. $1 trillion evaluation is crazy. I know, Rob T. What about the pre-IPO? Got it. Well, you'll be able to see it. Maybe your broker should give you a chance. You know, it depends on who your broker is. Sometimes they let you do shit like that, but they'll limit you to how many shares you can get. You might not even get them all filled. It just depends. It's worth the try, though. It's worth the try. But look, though, I already talked about Vertiv. I'm gonna go deeper because again, this is a misunderstood category. Cooling systems. All right, the GPU chips, the kind that power AI, they get hot as hell. They generate a lot of heat. We are not talking about how hot your game system or your computer get or your phone get. We're not talking about a desktop computer that get warm. I mean, literally, high performance AI server racks can generate heat that if they compare this heat to a blast furnace that ain't nobody, took care of or managed properly. So liquid cooling, these systems that circulate liquid cooling directly to chip services. Some of y'all gamers know because y'all got computers that got water in them and shit. But look, this is becoming mandatory for most dense AI deployments. So we got companies like Vertiv, AAON, right? That's another company. Modine Manufacturing. That's somebody already named it in the chat. Just found you. Sounds good. Yeah. Somebody said this company already. Modine. Hood Smart. I don't know who you is, bro, but I got to get you up out of here, man. I saw you about an hour, maybe not even an hour ago, maybe 20 minutes ago. I ain't even going to get you out of here because maybe you still could learn something, but I'm going to mute you for the rest of the live because you asked me did I eat bologna about 30 minutes ago and I ignored this shit, right? But when you just called me Hood Smart, I had to go ahead and call you out because, bro, you know what I'm saying? Why you got to add the hood part in there? Anyways, I'm a suburban dude, face eye. Nah, listen though, hear me out, y'all. Before I go, I just had to put him in timeout. So look, Modine, their ticker is MOD. Let me see if I can pull it up on the chart too. Yeah. From 118 to 287. And so it ain't shot up as much as I'm seeing it's going to shoot up. Yeah, I put his ass in. I had to send that boy to the administration office. He's still in the chat though. He just watching. He can't say shit. But look though. Train Technologies. Train, Trane Technologies. They supply the thermal management systems that keep these data centers operational. See, this is a supply chain component that most people never think about when they hear AI stocks. All they think about is fucking NVIDIA. I done named about 15, 20 stocks that ain't this AI shit go deep. This is exactly why there may be still a lot of opportunity here, y'all. Ain't nothing wrong with the hood, Medici. Ain't nothing wrong with it. But when you see somebody, I don't like when you say somebody is hood smart, you taking away from how smart they really like, bro. I'm just say they smart. You know, you don't see somebody and be like, oh, he's suburban smart or she's urban smart. Like, what the fuck? He's rural smart. Rural smart face ass. I can't even say the word right. Rural. What the fuck? Country smart face ass. What the fuck? No, I'm cool. How about just call somebody intelligent if they intelligent, bro? To my Trump hood. I don't have a problem with being from the hood or none of that. I did grow up in the projects, the hood, the ghetto, whatever the fuck you want to call it, right? Cool. What does that got to do with anything we talking about? You feel what I'm saying? That shit gets you to, it's just off. It's irrelevant, Medici. That's why I ain't want to, you know what I'm saying? That's why I shut them up. But listen, we're going to move to the next category. Optical networking. Optical networking. I told y'all I was going to nerd out a little bit, right? But it's for a good reason. Because AI does not just need to compute. It does need to be able to move data at extraordinary speeds. Very fast, right? Very fast. So inside of a data center, hundreds of thousands of GPUs need to communicate with each other in real time. The connection between those are fiber optic cables. That's what's connecting. That's what's sending the information. Fiber optic cables, optical transceivers, tiny itty bitty devices that convert electrical signals, literally light, electrical signals to light and back again. It makes AI possible. The more AI workloads get bigger, the more of these components are needed. We got Arista networks. I'm gonna put them in the chat so y'all can see. Just so I don't have to keep pulling up the chart. Y'all can pull up the chart on your own time. Arista networks. ANET is the ticker. Hold on. Check them out. This is a dominant player in data center networking. Lumentum. I'm gonna go ahead and pull Lumentum up. I'm gonna pull Lumentum up though, because I like this company. Made good money off this company. Went from $161 to $1,000 fucking dollars. Where can we see the slides after you get off? It's very good information. Meza, this is not for, I mean, only place you're gonna be able to see it is on YouTube. Yeah, it's on YouTube. I don't want to give them, I don't give them out because people end up reselling your shit. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to, they can watch it on YouTube, download it, press pause, play, rewind it, all that shit. But yeah, people have been fucking around and published it and sold it and etc. I used AI to help me create the show. Okay? You can do it too, Meza. Gather the information, tell AI what you want, and it'll help design it for you. Because without that, I know a lot of people are visual learners. They want to see what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? It ain't just enough for me to say, how do you know when to buy? We're going to talk about that too. I want to go over something called a stock screener with you, Anonymous. I want you to do your homework on a stock screener. It doesn't necessarily tell you when to buy, but it kind of does though. It kind of tells you what to look at. You can add certain signals that when the price triggers these alerts go off. You know what I think? The answer to your question, Dean Anonymous, I think that's how you say your name, I'm not sure, is a stock screener. You know why? How do you know when to buy? How do you know when to buy? You know when to buy because of something called an alert. Anybody ever set a price alert? Put a W in the chat if you ever used a price alert before. I know a lot of people don't use price alerts. Stinky Pinky, I know that was an awkward answer, but it's the truth. Doesn't a price alert let you know when to buy? Can't you use, is it true or false that you could use a price alert to let you know when to buy? Let me know in the chat, y'all. Is it true or false? Can you or can you not use a price alert to help you know when to buy? See, if you use the price alerts the right way, it will help you tremendously. You set the price alert and you say, when the price gets to this level, I want to get a notification. A lot of y'all ignore the fuck out of those price alerts, though. Tell the truth. Y'all be getting notifications and y'all swipe that shit away so fast. And then the next day you be like, I seen the price alert, but I ignored it. Yeah, definitely, Apollo. They know. Like, they will tell you, all I talk about is stop losses and risk management here. Apollo, you probably knew, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's all I talk about here. It's been an hour in and I haven't even said shit about risk management and take small losses. I'm pretty sure they surprised. But yeah, definitely. I live by that. Knuckles said, depending on your strategy and your thresholds, either way it go, no matter how you put it though, the price alerts will let you know when to buy. All right, so look, Lumentum, all of those companies that make optical transceivers, AAOI. Let me go ahead and just put them in the chat because I know a lot of people is not going. You know what I'm saying? She's gonna go through one ear and out the other. This is for my people that's taking notes. Let's see what we got. Who else we got? Who else I forget? I forgot Light. It's Lumentum. Oh, I spelled it wrong. Disregard that. Hope y'all disregard that. This is actually Light. That U is a typo. Now, when you see NVIDIA spend billions building massive GPU clusters, remember that all of those GPUs have to be connected to each other through something, right? And optical networking is that something. All right, now we just nerded out on that. I'm going to continue. I don't want to be too stuck on that. We're going to talk about robotics and automation because AI is moving into the physical world. This one is the physical world expression of AI. As AI models become more capable, they are building robots. They being deployed in robots. We got warehouse robots, industrial robots, surgical robots, vehicles that move by themselves, all type of shit. See, these companies that make the hardware and the software for industrial automation, they benefit directly. You said the playback of this video going to be on your YouTube channel, right? Yes, Rob T. Yes, it will. You can watch this playback on my YouTube channel. Y'all, after I'm done going live, TikTok give me the whole replay. I just go ahead and post it on YouTube. I give out this shit for free. These is master classes, seminars, okay? You are attending a $1,000 seminar for free on TikTok right now. You should be very appreciative, or at least taking notes somewhat. You know what I'm saying? At least soaking this shit up because it's generational wealth building information. But it's not financial advice. This is for educational purposes only. Doesn't come up. When you hit the link in the bio, it don't go, oh no, AAOI. Igor, Odessa, you forgot a letter. Yeah, you forgot a letter. Maybe I forgot a letter. So yeah, it's AAOI. What's money got to do with it? Because Medici, the value of it. The value of it. The value of it. My time, my energy, and the information that I'm actually giving out. And what are you going to do with the information, Medici? What you going to do with the information? It's worth absolutely nothing if you're not going to do shit with it. But it's worth its weight in gold if you are. Oh, I took a dollar out. You took a letter out and it worked. Thank you. You're welcome, Odessa. Medici say, we love you anyway. I love you too, Medici. I love you too, Medici. Thank you. I appreciate y'all. Like, y'all don't start showing me too much love because then I forget about what I was talking about. So look, these robots that I was just talking about, like these companies that are building these robots, they making money. Rockwell, ROK. I'm finna put them in the chat. Nah, I'm gonna put them in the chat. I might as well go ahead and pull up the chart too. Rockwell, ABB. Hold on. The global automation giant, UiPath, which is PATH, and y'all probably heard of some of these companies before. I suck in trading. I need to find my job again. You need to go back to a job, Odessa. Is that what you saying? I rebuke that in the name of, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, 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 no. I'm just playing. Ain't nothing wrong with a 9 to 5, y'all. If you at SPY future goes up and down. Yeah, they all go up and down, Odessa. Don't nothing go up and just straight up. And don't nothing go down and just straight down. I can't follow it, man. I'm pretty sure you can. Listen, Odessa, it is normal. In trading, you can lose 100 times in a fucking roll, and that's completely normal. How you lose is what matters. Okay? How you lose is what matters. That's what determines whether you're going to stay in the game long enough to see your efforts compound. Don't give up, Odessa. Don't give up. Just keep the losses very fucking small. Now, the companies that I just named in the chat, they focus on software automation. These robots I'm telling you about. Symbiotic, I can't forget about them. SYM, hold on. SYM, ticker symbol SYM. Yeah, maybe come back to MES now. My stop losses are based on average true range on Finviz. Take stock price and subtract average true range, you get your stop loss. How does that work well for you, Apollo? Sounds interesting. Sounds interesting. Dr. Tammy, thank you for the follow. KRM, I appreciate you so much for the follow. Y'all are wonderful. Wonderful. So yeah, Symbiotic, that company builds AI-powered warehouse robotic systems. Amazon and Walmart shop with these companies I just named. I'm going to say that again. Amazon and Walmart are customers to the companies I just named. This category is where AI moves out of the data center and into the real physical economy. The manufacturing and logistics implications alone are enormous. My truck driver friends will tell you. All right, I'm going to go ahead and go to the last category of this whole, I'm going to land this plane, right? Or this whole topic, right? Edge AI and smart infrastructure. This is the emerging frontier. Thank y'all. If y'all go ahead while I'm about to explain this to y'all. I want y'all to tell me what city or state y'all listening in from. Go ahead and rep this shit one time for the one time so I can see where most of my listeners at, right? It lets me know where I'm about to, the most, whoever, you know, names the city the same. The one I see the most is where I'm going to do my next live show at, right? I like to pop up in person and do in-person events. Chicago recently won, so that's where I'm doing my next event at. If you in the Midwest area, okay, or maybe y'all interested in flying out to Chicago, we're gonna have you know, we're gonna have brunch or something like that at the rooftop in Chicago. So if y'all interested, inbox me. We got South Carolina in the building, Texas, Phoenix, Arizona, Fort Worth, Texas in the building. I love Texas, y'all. We got 3 people in the chat from Texas so far. Michigan, California, Kentucky. Inglewood, up to no good, Medici. I heard that. How do you use a scanner for breakouts? I got you, Odessa. 100%. Give it a try sometime. Okay, y'all. Well, everybody ain't rep their city, but it's cool. We got Bakersfield, California in the building. All right. Cali, what's happening? I'm going to be out there. Whether y'all say something or not, the West Coast clear. All right. Vegas, Cali, yeah, we coming out there anyways. All right, y'all. Cool. Side eye Vegas. All right. Okay, so look. Yeah, you know I'm coming to Vegas either way it go, Curve Complex. That's why you giving the side eye. It's all good, though. It's all good. Y'all, you know I'm going to look. The future involves AI being embedded directly in devices. This right here, this last one, this is the emerging frontier. So right now, most AI runs in big centralized data centers in the cloud. But the future involves AI being in the devices, in cameras, phones, and cars, in the whole city. They finna have smart cities. Y'all don't see it now, but I'm telling you ahead of time, they finna have smart cities. You're gonna be invested on the right side. Rockwell ticker, please. Condor, ROK. ROK. So these companies I'm telling y'all about, This is called edge computing, processing data locally at the edge rather than sending everything to a central data center. Companies like Lantronix, LTRX, Ambarella, AMBA, and Pixon, INOD. These are positioned in this space. I'm going to put them in the chat. Hold on. INOD. AMBA is the second ticker, and then LTRX. Yes, I was just talking about smart cities. Yeah, AJ. For real. We got to be positioned in this space. This category is earlier stage, meaning, yes, there's more risk. Okay? But potentially, we finna see some explosive ass upside, like SanDisk or the other stocks I just showed y'all that were explosive. If we build positions before the trend becomes widely recognized, and this is for educational purposes only, okay? So don't be coming to me when this shit ain't went where it's supposed to go right away. Because I told you, I'm just letting you know. Now, for this the part a lot of y'all been waiting for. They like, oh, how do we use a screener? How do we use a screener? I'm just playing, y'all. I'm just playing. I know y'all probably heard about the screeners. I got you. We got to go. Now that I've helped you understand and understand the landscape to actually building a system for finding opportunities, that's what we on. A stock screener, that's what I'm finna show y'all. This is a tool. Hold on, let me go ahead and just pull one up real quick. Boom. This right here, this is a tool. Anybody ever used a screener before? They got them on Robinhood too. They just look a little different. They got them on Thinkorswim. They just look a little different. Now, a screener is a tool that filters the entire stock market. It's gonna sift through all them stocks, and so you don't gotta look through thousands of stocks and shit. It's gonna go through them. It's gonna filter it based on whatever criteria you set. So whatever criteria over here to the left, I can pick. I can look, man. I can skim through thousands of stocks and make it to where I'm only looking at 5 of them that fit my criteria. I can say I only want to see ones with a certain market cap. Okay, if they I could only want to look at low cap stocks. I can say only show me companies with very small market cap and let me see, high ROE, MACD technical signal, bullish, short term, medium term. Let's just say short term. Now it narrowed it down to 89 stocks. Then I can come here and say RSI a signal, bullish, short term. It narrowed it down to 2 stocks. So that is how screeners work in a nutshell, but I'm about to unpack that. I'm going to unpack that for a second. Apollo says, I'm a value investor. A perfect example right now. There's more upside to CRK and CYPH. Money is made in the hole. A Ray of Sunshine says, do you do live trading? Occasionally, a Ray of Sunshine. But listen, y'all. You use a stock screener. You need to think of it like a search engine for stocks. You are going to define the parameters. You're going to tell it what the parameters are, okay? You're going to say, this is what I want to look at. This is what I want to look at, blah, 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 blah. That's what a stock screener is for. You're going to tell it the parameters, and then the screener is going to show you only the stocks that match those parameters. There are free screeners that you can use on TradingView, Finviz, Thinkorswim, TD or Ameritrade, Webull, Robinhood. You do not need to pay for expensive software to use what I'm showing y'all. All right. So I'm going to give you 3 screener setups that I use to hunt AI infrastructure stocks. All y'all got to do is pay attention. That's it. All you got to do is, y'all thought I was finna say you got to spend something, don't you? You do got to spend something. You have to spend time, okay? Sit your ass down somewhere. The goal here is to find stocks where institutions, big money managers, hedge funds, pension funds, we need to find where these big companies are quietly building positions before the stock becomes well known. That's the goal. That's what you looking for, right? We looking for the price to be above $5. So I'm gonna come here to the price, to the filter. I'm gonna say I want to make sure I'm looking at the last price. I can look at volume. I get to control the filters that I'm looking for. Okay, so for now, let's come here. I know that I want the price to be $5. Above $5. Okay, let me take this off. Let me take this ROE off too. All right. Percentage change says Stinky Pinky. Good one. That's a good one. Let's add that one as well. What do you think about percentage change during extended hours, Stinky Pinky, versus just regular percentage change? It did narrowed it down already, but I do know I want the last price to be that. I don't want it to be too much. I don't see no answer, Stinky. But look, anyways, check it out. So you want the price to be above $5. This is going to filter out the garbage ass penny stocks. The market capitalization needs to be under $20 billion. Let's go to the market cap and make it under $20 billion. Let's say that. Boom. Oh, I was asking, what do you think about percentage change versus percentage change during extended hours? Yeah. But now you put the market cap under 20 billion. This is going to keep you in the range where a stock still got room to grow significantly, right? We know that it still got room to grow. The revenue growth needs to be greater than 20%. That's going to tell you that the company is actually capturing real business from the AI trend. You can even come here and control the sector. Now it's only going to show you technology, telecommunication, utilities, software and IT services. Okay. You can control the sector. Applied resources, mineral resources, renewable energy. You sifted through so much bullshit just by adding those filters. How could we do this with Robinhood, fam? Royal Negas. I'm going to show you how. You just get on Robinhood and you scroll down. It should be very close to your options watch list. It should say create a watch list or add a screener. And boom, you're going to find it right there. I need you to take your time and just, mess around with it, bro. And you're going to figure it out because it's very simple. Robinhood actually make their screener easy to use because the parameters are bullshit on Webull. Yes, Medici. Can you put criterias here? Yeah, Odessa. That's what I'm saying. You're controlling it. You controlling the parameters. I need the revenue growth. Hold on. Where's revenue growth at? Cash flow from financing activities. You can see so much information about a stock using a screener. We got total revenue. I need the revenue growth greater than 20%. Cost of revenue. I'm looking for revenue growth. Relative volume, floating market cap. Nope. I think total revenue will be fine. We got cash flow from investing, cash flow from operations, cash flow from investing activities. You can literally use a lot of, there's so many filters. These filters are not ass. These parameters are not bullshit right here, Medici. You got some good options. You know what I'm saying? You can even go down to chart patterns with this shit. They let you pick whether, you know, if something is in a head and shoulders pattern. On your phone, on Webull, you can see stocks that are in a head and shoulders pattern, that are in a rising wedge. You know, it gets pretty deep on Webull. I'm gonna just go ahead and press total revenue. And let's say I want the revenue to be greater than 20%. Still filter out the bullshit. You can add more to it, but you could play with the parameters though. All right, so look, where was I at? Where was I at? Relative volume. I can add relative volume. I want my relative volume to be greater than 1.5. That means that the stock is trading 50% more volume than its average. Okay. It took away all of them. There we go. All right. So now this can signal that somebody significant is taking a position. Average daily volume above 500,000 shares, which it is right now. This is going to make sure that we got enough liquidity so we can get in and out, you know, quick as fuck. Now, the price needs to be above both the 50-day and the 200-day exponential moving averages, so I can come to my filters and I can say moving average. I can even say EMA. All right, and I can say the price needs to be above both the 50-day. So we'll just say, we'll say 60. And then it needs to be above the 200. I want to see the price above the 200. So we'll just say 240. All right. But this just going to make sure that the stock is in a technical uptrend, right? We want to make sure it's in a real uptrend. Let's see. Positive EPS growth. Boom. Not negative, positive. You see these spikes? That's where a lot of people usually put the parameters at when you see the spikes. At least I know they got positive earnings per share growth. That's what EPS stands for. Not just revenue. The earnings are growing. All right, they not just growing in revenue. So we need to see near the 52-week high. We need to see the stock need to be near the 52-week high. Where's 52-week at? This is important and counterintuitive, so let me explain. Hold on. Let me find it first. 52-week. Am I missing something? Now, that's something I don't see on here, but it's cool. You can just look and see. But the reason why I said that, because a lot of retail investors think that you want to buy stocks near the lows, right? They think buy this shit cheap. But the institutions think the opposite, y'all. They buy strength. A stock that is near its 52-week high. Listen, everything I showed y'all tonight, just think about it. All right, just think about it. It was at its all-time high. It was near its 52-week high, and it didn't do shit but go higher. Every single one of them didn't do anything but go higher. SanDisk, Seagate, AMD, you name it. They are all strength companies. Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? If you get a stock near its 52-week high, it is there because buyers have been consistent. Something is going right. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? Do y'all understand and overstand? Y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Huh? Let me know. 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 Face side. No, y'all better let me know for real. Because it got to make sense. See, something is going right. The institutions are not afraid of a stock at its high. They are attracted to it because it tells them that the other institutional money is already invested. So this is not the only filter that you use. It's just an important one. So it's okay that it's not. I ain't tripping that we can't see. You can clearly see when something is near its 52 weeks. So it ain't no big deal. Do I think AMD will hit 500? The chances of it not hitting 500 is slim. All right. So yeah, the combination of a stock having strong fundamentals plus the price is going to confirm that confirmation tells you that the market is starting to recognize what you already believe about this company's position in the AI supply chain. All right, y'all can turn your phone sideways if you need to. Let me see. Yeah, turn your phone sideways if you got to. Sometimes that'll help you, and then you can zoom in if you can't see. But that'll help you, like maybe screenshot this shit if you need to. I don't know. But yeah, before I continue, undervalued AI infrastructure. Fine companies Wall Street hasn't fully priced in yet. The low float AI squeeze. I want to move. I want to move faster, but I don't want to skip nothing. So a lot of this shit is aggressive. So I use this type of a screener is designed for me to find smaller volatiles AI stocks. You look for the forward PE, the revenue. You want to see what institutions own that stock. You want to look at their free cash flow and the earning calls. Look for phrases like AI demand acceleration. See, I'm telling y'all what to look for. Hey now, first time I'm seeing you, but it's refreshing to see you talking about fundamentals. Yes, transcendent love. Thank you. No, Fed chair arrival can make a drop in the market, says Dino. Well, look, I'm explaining because I know this shit sounds like rocket science to some people, right? How do I explain it? So a low float stock, what does this mean? This is a stock with a relatively small number of shares that are available to trade in the public market. When demand spikes for a low float stock, prices can move dramatically because there are simply not enough shares to go around. Okay? So here's the filters. I think I'm on the wrong screen. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. I skipped this one. Low float. So I was telling y'all about the low float. I need to turn on my iPad so I can see what y'all looking at. That'll help me not miss that'll help me not skip the screen. Any questions though? Y'all got any questions? I'm just going back. I'm just, rambling. I ain't answering no questions. I ain't heard. I don't know if y'all asked any though. I'm gonna read the chat real quick. Any questions? Cause what you want for the low float stocks, where page you pulling this from? B Condor. I created this. You see how it says at the top, Ironworth Trading? AJ, are these long-term holds? I mean, you know, some of this shit has happened. It's hard to say, AJ. I mean, well, first of all, yes. Okay, to answer your question, yes, it's not hard to say. But will there be short-term gains? Fuck yes. Hell yes. There already has been. There wasn't for a while though. Basically, there was people investing in AI and they hadn't seen a return on their investment yet, but you can't say that no more. Now, again, you want for this low float AI squeeze, you want to make sure that the float is under 100 million shares. The short interest needs to be above 10%. Okay. That just means that there's more than 10% of the available shares that have been borrowed and sold by investors who are betting the stock is going to go down. It's called short interest. They betting this shit finna go down. When those short sellers are wrong about it going down and the stock start to rise, they have to buy shares to cover their positions. If you want to learn about that in a fun way, go watch this movie on Netflix called Dumb Money, because they had to deal with that squeeze. Go watch Dumb Money and go watch The Big Short. I gave a whole class on those two movies, y'all. Good movies to watch. It'll help you understand the concept that I'm trying to teach, that I'm teaching you right now about this squeeze shit, right? Now, when that happens, it adds additional buying pressure that really accelerates the move upwards. This is called a short squeeze. Now, relative volume above 2. This is double the normal trading activity. That's all that means. The price breaking above a resistance level on the chart. The stock must be in an AI related sector. Keep that in mind. And positive earnings. We want to see that too. I also want to give y'all a real example of what this looks like in practice. SMCI. They have super micro computer, SMCI. This stock right here. Now they had a lot of these characteristics in the period. Let me take some of this. So I know it look crazy, y'all. I'm gonna delete all drawings. All right, and let's look at it from a bigger time frame. So yeah, we can get a whole picture. The whole picture. Telly. I'm gonna start singing Teletubby song, but I ain't calling you no Teletubby. That's just intrusive thoughts. But look, it was a smaller company. Now you're gonna be talking shit, talking about some. You call me a Teletubby on live television. I'm just talking shit, Telly. Long time. Fat boss on the track got 100 of them. Screen off, gang. You can't see my screen? Oh, thank you. Thank you. Hold on. I got you. How about now? SMCI almost same revenue as AMD. But SMCI just has shady reputation. Not reputation. Now you got to restart everything. I ain't got to restart shit, Tez. What was I saying, though? I was talking about SMCI, right? I'm letting you know that you know, this was a smaller company. They had a relatively low float compared to the giants. And it's directly tied to the AI server infrastructure that we just went over tonight. And the short interest was elevated from skeptics who did not believe that the AI data center build out was real. When the orders started coming in and the numbers confirmed the demand, the short sellers had to cover. That means they ended up having to buy the shit that they was betting was going to go down. Okay? Institutional buyers were piling in and the stock moved in ways that stunned people who was not paying attention to the supply chain. This shit happened back, right? 2023, it was $10 a share. And it went from $10 a share to $122 a share within 2 years. It's all the way back down to $35 right now. But at one point, you can get it for $3. In 2021, it was $3 a share. I'm not restarting shit from the beginning, Tez. Tez, you trying to raise my blood pressure and shit, Tez. Go watch the YouTube video after I get done. I'm almost done, too. Let me go ahead and move along. right? I'm gonna go ahead and move along. Let's see. Y'all get the gist of the screener. Like, I don't have to go through this. Let me see. Y'all get the idea of the screener. Y'all get the idea. Let's talk about the technicals that matter. Because there's only about 4 of them that you really need to pay attention to. Here at Ironworth Trading, I'm bullshitting. Do your thing. Y'all know. So look, here at Ironworth, y'all, I teach future trading. I teach stock options, okay? Long-term investing, short-term investing, right? I teach options and futures. I talk about technicals regularly. And the single most important thing I can tell y'all about reading the charts is don't overcomplicate this shit. Don't overcomplicate it. There are people who put 20 indicators on a chart and still can't make a decision. All right. They still can't make a decision with all them damn indicators on the chart. Because they drowning in the information. Now they got analysis paralysis. Sometimes just 4 indicators is too much for some of y'all. I'm going to give y'all 4, maybe 3 or 4 of them, right? That really is all you need whenever you evaluating the AI infrastructure stock. Just 4. And if you master those 4, you're going to be ahead of the, of the curve. First of all, you need to pay attention to volume. I can't stress that enough. Y'all know I just did a whole show on volume like a couple days ago. We just talked about volume. Volume is the number of shares traded in a given time period. Okay? Normal volume is what a stock trades on a regular day, on an average. An unremarkable day. I want to know the normal volume is what a stock trades on an unremarkable day. So when the volume subtly expands, when the stock starts trading 2, 3, or 4 times its normal daily volume without a major news announcement, that is worth you paying attention to. For the people that just understood what I said, you are going to thank me later if you take that information and it registers. For the people that didn't get it, I'll say it again. Okay? Volume is telling you how many people are trading that shit at any time. How many shares are traded in that time period? That's what volume is. Whenever normal volume is what a stock trades on an average. This is the normal volume. Okay, this is normal. But whenever you see a spike in the volume and it starts having, okay, wait a minute, this is 4 times the amount that is normally here for volume. You should pay attention. It's telling you that somebody with a lot of money is taking a position. Okay. Now, retail investors do not move volume like that. They buy 100 shares and it barely registers on the stock. When you see abnormal volume in a stock and it fits your AI infrastructure thesis that I just helped you build, the institutions may be accumulating a position. Again, if you look at Micron, let's look at Micron real quick. Make sure y'all still can see my screen though. Display capture, Micron. There we go. So this historic run that you see on Micron, right? This started with volume expansion. Weeks before the price made its biggest move, volume is going to tell the truth before the price actually confirms it. How do you track volume? RSI? No, you track volume. You put it on the chart, or you just go look at right here. These red and green vertical bars at the bottom of the chart. Now, we're also looking at multi-year breakouts, where this shit is just breaking out year after year. It's just breaking out. Year after year breakouts. Year after year breakouts. Hold on. Okay. Multi-year breakouts. A stock making a new 2-year, 5-year, or all-time high is entering what we call price discovery. Okay? Take notes, y'all. Price discovery. Intel will go crazy this month. $200, you think? Well, we've been on Intel ass since it was $20. Actually, it was under $20. Hey, the receipts is in the Discord. Discord is amazing because it allows you to, even when y'all join today, you can get in there and see everything I talked about in the beginning of last year. And you can see we've been on this shit since last year. We was talking about all the companies that are exploding now. All right, we been in it to win it. So we talk about right now. We talking about price discovery. Okay, when a stock is making an all-time high, we don't know how high it can go. There is a zone where there are no prior sellers sitting above the current price that are waiting to sell. If you think about it, If you bought a stock at $50 3 years ago and it dropped to 20, okay, now it is back at $50. You might sell it just to get your money back. That creates a lot of selling pressure at $50. Do y'all understand what I'm telling you? I'm going to say that again. Let's say you bought a stock at $50 3 years ago and it dropped down to $20. And right now it then came all the way back up to 50. You're going to want to sell it to get your money back. You've been sitting in this shit for 3 years and it's been down. That creates a lot of selling pressure at $50. But when a stock breaks above that 50, right? Let's say 50 was the highest. When the stock breaks above all prior highs, there are no sellers like that. There is nothing but open air and opportunity. Ain't shit but open air above. So a lot of institutional investors love 52-week high area. They love all-time high. They love that setup because once the stock clears its prior highs, and convincingly, the momentum alone can carry it even further. It's like taking a ball and rolling it down a hill, even though we talking about going up. I'm just saying, like, eventually the momentum gonna push the ball further. So watch for stocks that are in the AI categories that are making these kind of breakouts. They are often, a signal that the market is just beginning to recognize the story. Okay. Earnings calls. Yeah. This one requires you to have patience, and you need to be able to recognize after a powerful stock makes a big move up, it does not just keep going straight up forever. Are we clear? What goes up, y'all, must come down. Okay? Sometimes it stops, it rests, it does what I call it's breathing. It's going to go up and down, right? When you zoom in, but when you zoom out, it just looks like it's going straight up. So if it is truly a strong stock with real institutional backing, okay, it's going to trade in a very tight price range that, it's going to look like it's consolidating. It's resting. It's barely moving. It's barely moving up. It's barely moving down. It got low volume. That tight consolidation is not weakness, y'all. It is actually the opposite. This moment is where a lot of the big money start holding their positions. They are not selling, they are holding. That's where the battle takes place between the buyers and the sellers. This is going to keep the price stable. And then when the stock build up enough energy for the next move, that's when the next move going to happen. When you see a stock that has already made a big ass significant AI driven move, start trading. When you see it start trading tightly in a range like that, you should pay attention to your position size. Like, start trading different, because that's a potential setup for the next leg up. This is one of the most reliable patterns in market history. Reliable. Y'all know what reliable mean, right? Apollo said, I'm going to take profits, guy. I always sell at 100%, no matter the case. It may rise after, but I took profits. I know that's fucking right. Apollo said, I ain't leaving no money on the table. Yeah, Dino, we talked about that. I would say so. So listen, y'all, the best stocks tend to work in phases. We got explosion, consolidation, and then explosion again. They explode, then they consolidate, and then they explode again. The consolidation is a good moment. It ain't always bad, all right? Oh, yeah, I talked about relative strength, RSI. Did I go over RSI? Yeah, relative strength. So when the overall market is going down, like when the S&P 500 is falling, a lot of the stocks are red. Y'all need to watch which stocks barely move. When the stock market is crashing and you looking in the SPY, pay attention to the ones that barely move. If a stock is holding its price while everything else around it is dropping, that tells you there are buyers who will not let this shit fall. Okay? Strong hands, diamond hands. Institutional holders who believe in the position so much that they are absorbing all of the selling pressure from weaker holders. And a stock that shows strong relative strength during market weakness is almost one of the first stocks that are going to lead when the market recovers. It is the stock that institutions are most committed to, right? So in an AI infrastructure context, let's put it in context. When the market sells off and your cooling company or your power infrastructure company barely moves, that is a stock worth watching very closely. You follow the money like a hedge funds manager, y'all. Think like a hedge funds manager. Everything I show y'all with the chart, see, technical analysis is like 10% of the game. This shit is all psychological. You got to have the right mindset. The technical analysis and the screeners only work if your thinking is right. So none of this other shit matter if your thinking not right. Most retail investors think about the market completely backwards from how money actually move, okay? So the real exercise I want y'all to do, y'all can open any financial news source right now. You can find a headline that's going to say a major technology company is making a big investment in AI. Microsoft spending $80 billion. Amazon building new data centers. What else? Google announcing a massive AI infrastructure program. Whatever you see. A lot of people read those headlines and they think, should I buy Amazon? Should I buy Microsoft? Should I buy Google? And maybe they do. But those stocks have already priced in a lot of that good news that you're reading on these headlines. See, there are millions of people watching these companies every single day. The upside from that announcement is already priced in before most people even get to read the damn article. So the institutional investor, right, versus the disciplined investor, they read the same headline, but they ask different questions. Who gets paid when Microsoft spends $80 billion? Not just Microsoft. The money flows outward through an entire supply chain. The cooling suppliers get paid. The power suppliers get paid. The storage suppliers get paid. Optical networking companies get paid. Server manufacturers get paid. Chip companies. And some of those companies have far fewer analysts watching them. Ain't nobody paying attention to them companies. That 80 billion finna get spun. Damn. You know you getting old when you laugh hard and it make you cough. Like, damn, I'm only 34 and that laugh shouldn't have made me cough. Jeez Louise, I need some mullein leaf. But I'm serious though. That's why I'm just gonna stick to the computer. But no, I'm serious though, y'all. 75 Corvette and called me Unc and shit. I'm serious. Odessa, thank you. I thought you'd never hit the follow button. About time. Golly, you've been here for 2 hours with me. I'm just playing, Odessa. Thank you. Yeah, everybody here at Ironworth. I'm looking to make that happen for everybody here at Ironworth. Medici. That's what we here. That's what we chopping it up for. Therefore, there is far more room to grow when the market finally catches up to this story because ain't nobody paying attention to it. Now, that's what it means to think institutionally. Now that we done got to the end of that. If you see a headline, don't react to the headline, y'all. You need to ask who benefits down the supply chain. 2-3 steps removed from the obvious answer. Then you use your screener system that we just went over to find which of those supply chain beneficiaries have the right fundamental and technical characteristics. And then you can build a position once you got a clear thesis and a price target and an exit plan. That's the process. Okay? The headline, supply chain map, screener, thesis, position, get the fuck out every time. I like Base 44 OG Marlon. That's not a stock though, that's a company, right? Like they help you build apps and shit using AI or whatnot. I did want to talk about some ETFs here. ETFs reveal institutional themes. All right. This is a tool that even though I know a lot of people hear ETF, don't know what the fuck it means, but a lot of newer investors can use an ETF to track a theme. An ETF is an exchange traded fund, a basket of stocks, a folder of stocks. Instead of you trying to find what stock to trade, ETFs is like them putting these all of them in one bundle. Like the S&P 500, for example, or SPY is an ETF of the S&P 500. SPY is got 500 of the best companies in the United States all wrapped up into one folder. When institutional money is rotating into specific sectors, like ETF inflows often lead the move in individual stocks. Watch for increasing buying in SMH, which tracks semiconductors. Somebody said SOX earlier, SOXX. That's another one. That's another semiconductor ETF. Okay, BOTZ. That's a semiconductor ETF. Let me put them in the chat. Data center ETFs is popping too. What am I forgetting? PAVE. You got to put the $ too, y'all. And XLU. Yeah. PAVE, which tracks infrastructure. And XLU, which tracks utilities and power companies. So let's see. CIBR is another one. Hold on. CIBR. That's cybersecurity ETFs. When you see meaningful inflows into these ETFs, it tells you that large capital is taking a sector level view. When institutional capital takes a sector level view, individual stocks within that sector often follow. So the ETF is the early warning system, and you just got an early warning system. It's going to help you. Now, we want to also talk about the next wave coming for everybody that didn't get a chance to get in the AAOI. It's okay. So we're going to talk about what's coming next. The most dangerous thing that y'all can do right now is assume that the AI story is already fully priced in and it's over with. That's the worst shit you can do right now, because it's not. We are still in the early chapters of this shit right now. And this a bunch of things that I believe is going to drive the next set of major winners that most people are not paying full attention to. Somebody in the chat been talking about power. We talk about nuclear power. That's one of the most interesting stories in the entire market right now. Nuclear power. 3 years ago, nuclear was considered a dead industry in America. Aging plants, high cost, political opposition. Today, Microsoft, Amazon, and Google are all actively pursuing long-term agreements to purchase electricity from nuclear power plants. Specifically, because nuclear provides clean, reliable baseload power that can run AI data centers 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Okay? So, when I tell y'all, companies like Constellation Energy, don't take this shit for granted. Take advantage. They own the largest fleet of nuclear plants in the United States. This company went from being largely ignored to being actively courted by the largest technology companies in the world. And guess what? That story is still developing. Transformer shortages are another real and unappreciated problem. Okay? When I say transformer, I'm not talking about the robots in disguise. A transformer is a piece of electrical equipment that steps voltage up or down in the power grid. It's big as fuck, it's heavy, and it's expensive as hell. And it takes years to manufacture. And right now, there is a significant backlog in transformer production because the demand from AI data centers and grid modernization has overwhelmed the supply chain. Companies with transformer manufacturing capacity, and there are not many, have pricing power and multi-year backlogs. This is a problem. This is a classic supply constraint story. And if y'all don't know, supply constraints historically create favorable environments for companies on the supply side. We got humanoid robotics, okay, that's about to enter the chat. Humanoid robotics is a thing that's coming. This is the frontier category. We are in the beginning stages. Companies like Tesla, Figure AI, and others are developing robots that can do physical shit, that can literally perform physical tasks that use AI-powered decision making. This is not science fiction. This is actively being deployed in very limited manufacturing environments right now, but it's being deployed. The supply chain for humanoid robotics, okay, actuators, sensors, vision systems, AI chips, this is going to be a significant investment theme over the next several years. That is a long-term hold, AJ, if you still here. So I'm going to connect this to what I teach in our options and future classes, right? Because there is more than one way to play this, right? So if you are a long-term investor, the approach is to identify the best companies in these categories. Build positions with dollar cost averaging over time. Y'all know what? Learn how to dollar cost average and learn how to hold. And give the story time to develop. But if you trade options, okay, if you are in my options community, you also have tools. You have additional tools. You can do long call options. You can do leaps on AI infrastructure companies. That'll give you leveraged upside, okay? You'll get a lot of leveraged upside exposure and you will have defined risk. You ain't gonna lose it all. You can do leaps. A long dated call option with an expiration a year or two out is going to let you be able to participate in this bullish thesis on a company like Eaton or Vertiv without you tying up as much capital as buying the shares outright. Okay, and then you get to define the maximum loss at the premium that you pay. But you also don't have to take that much of a loss. You can set a stop loss, but you get to maintain exposure to a potentially large move to the upside. Basically, you get to make some money. For my people that trade futures, the connection is macro. Look at the bigger picture. When the AI infrastructure build out accelerates power demand, energy commodities like natural gas, oil, electricity, those are affected. Okay. When the semiconductor supply chain is stressed the fuck out, it has implications for industrial metals used in chip manufacturing. When hyperscalers announce massive spending programs, the impact flows through the broader economy in ways that affect future markets. Understanding this AI infrastructure thesis is going to make you a more complete macro trader because you understand the real economy that, you get the forces that drive that commodity and the whole sector. As a futures trader, it'll help you to understand this. Anybody still confused? I'll slow down. Let me know. I'll break it down if you're still confused. I got to spend time on this though, because I would be doing you a disservice if I taught you all of this shit without talking about risk. Y'all knew it was coming. All right, we have been on live for 1 hour and 59 minutes and 35 seconds. So yeah, here we go. You know, it took me 2 hours to get to the risk management side, but here we go. I got to spend some time on this. This is the truth. Okay. The same FOMO, which is the fear of missing out, it's called FOMO, that makes people, the same type of FOMO that makes people ignore AI investing, also makes people invest all their money at one time as soon as they get excited about some shit. I need you to be excited and disciplined. Both of them. Both of them. Excited and disciplined. You need to be both of them. All right? Because excitement without discipline in this market is going to cost you money. You ain't got to worry about catching no dog. You got to worry about a dog catching your ass. Okay? The first risk management principle is position sizing. No single stock. I don't give a fuck what the stock is. I don't care how strong your belief in that stock is or that company. No single stock should represent a disproportionate share of your portfolio. Meaning you got 92% of your money in one stock. Even the best AI infrastructure thesis can be temporarily wrong, y'all. They remember I told y'all the earnings season is like them having a report card. You don't know what the fuck they grades is finna be. You don't know how big of a sell-off is about to happen. They can have new competition that come up out of nowhere. If you got 30% of your portfolio in one stock, that's still too much unless some shit go wrong. The damage to your financial situation would be severe. Okay, so you need to learn how to do something called diversify. Diversify across different categories. Let's say you buy some semiconductors, you're gonna buy some power stocks or ETFs or whatever that's dealing with electricity. You're gonna get some that's dealing with cooling down AI networking. And if you write about the AI infrastructure theme broadly, your portfolio is going to win even if any of those single stocks disappoint. But if you are wrong about one company, then you are not destroyed if you do it this way. The second principle is having a damn thesis and sticking to it, right? Before you buy any stock in this AI infrastructure space, I need y'all to write down 2 sentences. Why the fuck am I buying this? And don't forget the fuck part, okay? Why the fuck am I buying this? And what would have to be true for me to sell it? That is your thesis. If the company reports earnings and the AI demand that they was capturing is still growing, your thesis is intact. You can hold it and even add to the position. That means you can hold it and buy more. If the company reports that AI customers canceled their orders or some type of competitor took their market share, your thesis may be broken. You can get the fuck out cleanly without any emotional attachment. You shouldn't be married to the stock. The mistake that a lot of y'all make is buying for a reason and then forgetting the reason that you bought it for. All right. And then you're going to hold it through the bad news because you emotional and you attached to the name of the stock. Don't do that, y'all. Trade the thesis, not the ticker. All right. The third principle is being honest about FOMO. You got to know when you got the FOMO. Right now, a lot of people watching this class, this master class, they're going to feel something. It's called FOMO. They're going to feel the urgency of having missed some of these moves that I just showed y'all. They saw how much Micron went up. Vertiv already moved. NVIDIA already moved. AMD already moved. And that feeling of I missed it, I need to get in now before I miss it again, is one of the most dangerous feelings that you can have as an investor. It's going to lead to you buying at the wrong moment. It's going to lead to you ignoring how much money you put on it. You're going to put too much dip on the chip. And then it's going to lead to you chasing something. You're going to chase the money and it's going to run from you because that's what happened when you chase something. It's running from you. Most of the world's trades in investing history were made by people chasing something that they felt they already had missed. Okay. Now the AI story is not over. There are new winners that have not yet been discovered. There are companies in the next wave categories. I just told you, nuclear, transformer manufacturers, edge AI, humanoid robots, all that shit is still building the story, the AI revenue story, the AI boom. You have not missed the whole thing, but you will hurt yourself if you let FOMO override the discipline. FOMO is fear of missing out. You ain't missed out on shit. You have no idea. You should be getting ready and preparing with this information. All right. Now, let me close with the most important thing I want you to take from everything we talked about today, y'all. The market rewards anticipation, not reaction. If you react, see, retail investors react. They see a headline and they react. They see a stock up 40% and they react. They see somebody on social media talking about a company, on TikTok talking about some shit, and they react. By the time they react, though, the move is already over. It's already OV. It's overly over. The best that they can hope for is to catch the last piece of the run before it's really over with, before the institutional investors start, distributing their shares into retail excitement, basically before it started to go down. So that's not a strategy. That's gambling. I don't want y'all to be gamblers. Institutional investors, disciplined investors anticipate, not react. Anticipation. They look at the trends while they are in the early stages, right? So as soon as it started going up, they looking at it. They ask what is going to be needed before the need becomes obvious. They build positions quietly over weeks and months. They wait for the story to develop. And then when the headlines catch up to what they already knew, and when y'all ass start buying, that's when they getting the fuck out. They taking profits by then. That's the game. I'm telling you, that's the way it works. Now you understand how it works. Okay? Now you get it. Now you understand how it works. This is what y'all need to do. Y'all need to go back through all of the categories we talked about tonight. Pick 2 or 3 of them that you feel that you understand the best. Like I said, go find a screener. I told you it's a bunch of them. Finviz, TradingView, Thinkorswim, Webull. All of them got screeners. Run some type of a screener that's going to help you and look at what come up. Don't just buy anything. Just look. Start building the habit of screening, of reading companies, descriptions, seeing what they do, of understanding what the business actually do. You need to know what the companies do. Then you will have a better understanding of their place in the future. Then go find the earnings call transcript for one company, right? And read it. A lot of people, if they had knew what Uber was back in the day, they would have invested in it. When it first came out, somebody told you, there's a company that just came out that's paying people to give people rides. So they're using other people's money and other people's time and other people's cars to make money. That's just like whoever created that business model cut the fuck up. Cool Hand Luke, what up? And they making a lot more money than what they say they making too, by the way. Oh yeah, Uber making a lot of money. They getting into self-driving cars too here soon. But yeah, not to get off topic. Not to get off topic. I want y'all to build a habit though. Make investing a habit. Think habit. Screening, reading, thinking before acting is the habit you want to build. It's what separates Ironworth traders from the general public, okay? And over time, that habit is going to compound. Your pattern recognition improves. Your thesis construction gets sharper. Your entry's going to get better. Your exit's going to get better. And your account is going to reflect all of it. You're going to ultimately make more money. Okay? Any questions about anything I just said? I'm Coach Price. This is Ironworth Trading. We are built different because we do the work that other people are not willing to do, y'all. So I need y'all to do me a solid one. Share this with somebody who needs it. Share my page with somebody that you know who needs it. Okay? And again, drop y'all questions in the comment section or inbox me. Join the Discord. Drop your questions in the Discord. I'm gonna see y'all the next one. But here go everything we just talked about right here. Here's every company right here. If you missed it, all you got to do is turn your phone sideways And yeah, pretty much screenshot it. Yeah, do what you got to do before I get up out of here. There you go. Big Man's Coming says Oracle, MSTR, and Qualcomm. All great companies to pay attention to. Oracle, MicroStrategy, and Qualcomm, but not quite on topic. But yes, good companies to pay attention to. TXN moving. Man, y'all better have a wonderful weekend. Appreciate the game, bro. You are more than welcome, Rob T. I appreciate you. Y'all been a wonderful audience. About to join the Discord. Yeah, come on in, nephew. I got you. Join the premium though, nephew. Don't be like, you don't be a fly on the wall. Y'all do not join the Discord with that quiet, dry shit. Don't come in there being dry. I can't stand it. Y'all come in there and don't never ask no questions. Don't say nothing. I don't say nothing because y'all don't say. I'm like, I done made the Discord and my people like, I probably got the most calm, relaxed. You ain't finna get notified of shit. You might turn your notifications off. Don't even join it, y'all. You ain't even got to join it. But if you got questions, yes, Tez, you want to be there. It gives you direct access to me at any moment. I'm going to get on. I'm going to only fuck if it's 3 o'clock in the morning. Look at what time it is now when I'm up talking to y'all ass. Some of y'all in bed, some of y'all at work, some of y'all in the car, etc. And for the people that's watching this replay, if you made it this far, please hit the subscribe button, smash that like button. And if you got any questions, put it in the comment section. I read all my comments on YouTube. And again, I appreciate y'all. Y'all been a wonderful audience. It is Saturday, May the 9th, 3:43 a.m. We're going to make today twice as good as yesterday, but half as good as tomorrow. Y'all hold it down. I got 2 slots left for people. I don't got no more time. I've kind of traded too much of my time for helping people. So, yeah. Y'all inbox me. I'll take some. I don't even think I got 2 slots left. It's a wrap. Inbox me if you need my help. Good night. Marina, good night.